Hey, welcome back to Soca Talk, Naldo, Team Chaos family. In this video, we are speaking about Soca and Lent. Soca and the effects it have on Lent, or had on Lent, and Lent and the effects it had on Soca. Some people still say, up to today, that one of the reasons soca never grew or was not all year round music is because of Lent and they having to stop playing Calypso and soca as soon as Lent hit Ash Wednesday. Today we interview none other than veteran DJ Allan, the Honey Boy Diaz. He gonna carry us back. Let us know how it was being a DJ then and the restrictions that they may have had and how it came and how it changed. Yeah? So hi, as I told you before, we're welcoming Allan, the Honey Boy Diaz, and we're talking today about soca music in Lent, how it was back in the day. You know, as a DJ, one of the big names back in the day. You know how that was, because we know now in Trinidad and Tobago, soca music playing through Lent. So Allan, welcome, and tell us.
Well, back in those days, they had a different way, a different approach to the Lenten season, where you could not play calypso. Calypso was X out of it. The only day we got an opportunity to play calypso was the 19th of March, which is known as St. Joseph Day.
Right.
So on that particular day, everybody, as a matter of fact, you could not even whistle.
Calypso.
Yeah, if you whistle, well, that was wrong in those times.
So people used to look forward to the 19th of March to hear the Calypso?
Definitely.
Okay.
And then that's the only time you used to have parties. No parties along the way.
When you say parties, no soca parties or no parties
No
at
party,
all?
no party. You know, normally you have a party, you will go to a party.
Right.
Well, people just not keeping any party because at some time people never used to attend.
Oh,
So
okay.
everything started on St. Joseph Day. So whatever day St. Joseph Day is falling on, there's going to be a party. And people would come out and have a good time until Easter.
Wow. But that is so strange because the thing is, they're waiting for St. Joseph Day to express themselves. But as you said, if they threw a party anytime before, people wouldn't
Yeah.
really attend.
Because people had a certain belief. People were believing in certain things. Like, even though it is said that Lent is a Catholic thing,
Right.
during that time, like everybody used to get involved.
Right.
You understand? Even though it's Catholic, and you hear Lent, people know well, you know. And then you have people who abstain from a lot of things. People stay away from alcohol. People stop smoking. They stop doing a lot of things for 40 days. People do fast, all that.
Well, when did they start breaking that Lenten tradition and starting off soca and partying?
You know, I'm trying to figure out the time because it seemed to, be slipping me a little bit. But when it started, it was welcomed by a lot of people, and then some figured, well, why are they changing the rules?
Right. But the thing is, who made the rules?
Well, this is the other thing. I think it was done by the Catholic Church. I
Right.
don't know. I think so. And it was a time when the church had a lot of say
Right.
in everything. Well, things have changed a whole lot from then to now. And you find, well, people used to get involved. But suddenly, I'm trying to remember when that change came about.
Okay.
I just can't remember it right away. But it was welcomed by a whole lot of people. And then you hear things like after Carnival, this was the Saturday after, you start hearing about last lap party.
Okay.
And
So back then it didn't have champs and concert and thing then?
no,
Okay.
no, that was out of it. That was completely out of it. And then there was a time when the Saturday after Carnival, we used to have a big last lap party, and people used to come out in thousands, and from then things started changing. You had started in Calypso on the, and even though this thing about Calypso, not even on the radio, Calypso used to be played on.
So you all never got calls or anything, people requesting Calypso, or people just understood what it was?
Well, people had, they understand what the tradition was at that time. No Calypso in Lent. Until, well, the change came out. One is I think I'll remember sometime soon when that happened. And then it was a welcome thing. Then you have parties started going throughout the Lenten period all the way.
Right.
Yeah, like sometime every Saturday or Sunday, and things like that. And a whole lot of people
But
welcome it.
anybody ever made a mistake and play a calypso on the radio during that period or anything like that?
I can't say, but I know during that time people were a bit cautious because they know exactly, well, look, this is something that at this time they don't want it. So
Don't make
do
a
it.
mistake.
What we used to do during that time, there was a station we used to pick up from Montserrat, Radio Antilles, and they normally they did not have that tradition. They used to
Right.
play calypso, so we used to pick up that radio station at night and listen. And even though your parents would find you listening to calypso, that was wrong at the time.
Right.
Boy, it's Lent and you're listening to calypso. You know, at the time, that was wrong.
And because you know, up to today, well, my daughter, she goes to a Roman Catholic school, and you know, when Lenten period starts and she hear me singing a calypso or playing a calypso in the car, she does, Daddy, no, you cannot do that. That's wrong. And you know, I was like, hey, be yourself.
Well, yeah, this is how we used to be. And then there was another thing too, that on a Friday at that time, during the time I was coming up, we had to attend the Way of the Cross
Okay.
in church. We used to go to that day, do the Way of the Cross, and then you sing, and even though, well, starting from Ash Wednesday, you had to go for your ashes. You must.
As a child, yeah.
You have to. You understand? So we used to go there. I don't know. I think it had something to do with discipline too.
Right.
Yeah, a
guess so.
form of discipline that existed around that time, and people used to pay attention. You know, like a couple days before Ash Wednesday, I said, well, you know, don't forget you have to wake up early and go to church.
Right.
Because the service used to start, I think, about 7 in the morning. You go early.
So people wasn't in the beach, the maracas and the manzilla back
No,
then
no,
as
that came long after. You know, like this thing about Ash Wednesday cool down, you know, that came after.
okay.
Yeah, that was nowhere in the calendar.
So let me ask you something though. Now, some people are saying that one of the reasons soca, because Trinidad being the Mecca, well, Trinidad and Tobago being the Mecca of Carnival, and some of the Mecca of soca. Some people say why it took soca so long to break through or to get big is because of that not playing it during the Lenten period. So basically everybody would have put down soca at that time. Because I mean, yes, everywhere else have carnival now, but it wasn't as big as Trinidad carnival then. So do you think that that may have impacted the growth?
No, I don't
of
think
soca?
so. No. I think one of the problems we had during that time too was communication.
Right.
There was a lack of communication, and we had existing in the country about 2 radio stations.
Right.
And you find, like, you know, like now how technology, things have improved, it's easy to connect, and the communication was not there to say, well, you could get your thing outside so
Right.
everybody could hear it and all that. And then to another thing which I personally think was a problem then, after listening to Calypsos now, the recording quality at that time
Right.
was not up to par like it is now.
Right.
You find, like, sometimes you go to a recording studio, you see 4 microphones, one by the drum set, one by the chorus group, and this, you know, and you understand? And for some reason, they were able to work with it and get some kind of fine quality. You know, that's how it went at that time. But things have changed from then to now, you know.
And I mean, I appreciate the change. I would say I appreciate the change. There are some people who still.
Yeah, well, you see, we cannot live in a zone. You know, you have to remember things are changing. The generation is changing. People are changing the way things are done. You know, things are being done. I am thank God that I was able to live to see a generation change.
Nice.
And I accept what's happening, and I know you cannot go on forever doing things the same way and expect good results.
Exactly.
You have to change something to see what can happen. You know, and I accept what's happening. I really accept, and I'm following the trend of what's going on, and whatever change comes, I try to get involved and see, you know, if it's better than what we had before, and I'm getting along fine with everything.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Allan, the honey boy Diaz. By the way, how you got the name honey boy?
I must give Dave Elcock.
Dave Elcock?
Yeah, I used to work with Dave Elcock at the early time of my career. I was a technical operator, and a young lady called and she was thinking, and I was chatting with her,
Right.
telling her some nice things, and Elcock was standing up there listening, and he heard me. And when the conversation was over here, honey boy, you give it to them. He said, anyway, I will leave that with you, honey boy, from now on. And Dave Elcock started that.
Nice, great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here on
Okay.
Soca Talk with us.
All right, you take good care, man.
Yeah, that was Allan Diaz giving us some insight. Just imagine living in a time where there was no Ash Wednesday cool long or nobody heading to the beach on Ash Wednesday. You ain't getting that bacon shack. I mean, just imagine living in that time. Wow. But as we see, things are changing. I don't know if it's to the better or the worse. I mean, I guess some people who may be more spiritual or who may be more religious may think it's changing for the worse. Some people who think soca music should grow, carnival should grow, they're probably enjoying it. So keep it plugged to Soca Talk. We're going to be interviewing some soca artists to hear what they think and their experiences and what it was like for them. And also, we want to talk to some fete promoters as well, people like Randy Glasgow and these fellas, who have been doing this fete thing for a while, how that would have affected them then and how is it affecting them now. Yeah, so keep it plugged, Soca Talk. Remember, please subscribe, like, and do whatever you got to do, man. Peace.